All right, microphone check. 1 2 1 2. To everybody that is in here on the early, welcome to another edition of Money Moves with Loshawnparks. And you could have been anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me, and I appreciate that. If this video looks a little bit foggy around the edges, it's probably because I didn't wipe the lens off on my phone right now before I started it. So I apologize on that. And the second thing is that I need to pull up my YouTube channel so that when the time comes, I can go to my laptop to read y'all comments. All right, so while we're waiting for some people to shuttle themselves on in here, I'm gonna get that open. There it is. And making sure that it was working. So you guys just heard it right there. 89 people in here right now. For the 89 in here, hit the like button one time. You know, I'm holding up to one time. I would appreciate the somewhat support. Okay. If you're new to my channel, please do like, share, subscribe, leave comments as well. I see that videos that I put up, a lot of people don't tend to want to leave comments. You guys are free to leave comments. Loshawn is not going to block you for leaving your opinion, okay? As long as your opinion is respectful, then I will not block you from it. If your opinion is disrespectful or you're just blatantly saying something that is retarded, it's going to get blocked, okay? To all my whistleblowers, aka my moderators, shout out to y'all. Once again, y'all know how it works. Deem you see something foolish in here, we're going to go ahead and alleviate them and show them to the door, okay? So now that we got all of the rules out of the way, oh yeah, by the way, if y'all would like to, y'all can go ahead and share this as well, okay? And we are going to get started here momentarily. As some of you, majority of the people that probably will tune into this video, okay, I'm sure of it, is the title, okay? Going out of business, who would have thought it, I think, or something like that. You know what it is? Going out of business, nobody saw it coming. $5 super chat came in. Let me read this here real quick. Then we'll get ready to get started here, people. All right, it came from Dominique Griffin. He says, man, I'm a 22-year-old trucker. Want to start my own company. How do I get started? Well, real quick, Dominique, for your $5 super chat, I appreciate it. You're 22 years old. You're very, very young. You're probably very ambitious. A lot of excitement and stuff like that, which is always a good key to take in with you when trying to start a business. A couple of things that you need to make sure that you have is the right mindset to be an entrepreneur or to start a business. That's first and foremost, okay? You don't want to go into it with the blind side or blindfolded, if you will. So a major thing that you need to have is capital or access to capital. If you don't have access to capital or to funding, then it can be a very strenuous adventure to take on. So just make sure that that's the first step. Keep it in mind. Make sure that you have access to some type of capital. Roughly, if you're coming in the truck and starting out, you know, you might want to have, 20, 30,000 just to have as a background. Not necessarily mean that you're going to need to utilize all that, but it's always good to have that good goose egg. Okay. So just my opinion. Okay. Just my opinion. I hope that you do take from it what you need, and what you don't, never mind it. You know what I mean? But there you go. All right, so let's get started here, right? So in the title here, we have going out of business. Nobody saw it coming. Now, when you read this title, and when people see this, this is probably the reason why we have 216 people in here with 4 minutes beginning this live stream, okay? One, people are going to feel like they want to hear about why Parks Motor Group or Loshawn was going to fail because it was one of them Lisa Fleet deals. And you know how those people that like to talk about that stuff so much would love nothing more than for me to downfall, so then they could sit there and say, I told you so. I told you so. It was just a matter of time before he was gonna go out of business, right? And we here with the popcorn to hear it and to rub our hands like Birdman because we knew it was gonna happen. Oh, you can believe they got their pom poms, they cheerleader skirts. They doing a whole jig right now. Okay. Oh, they are. They doing it. Okay. They in there YMCA in it. Okay. But what I'm here to reveal is not only does is to show that by you putting a title in there, people will think too deeply into what you're saying and they will begin to create assumptions, right? If anybody noticed that in this title, it didn't say that Parks Motor Group is going out of business. Nobody saw it coming. It didn't say that I'm going out of business. Nobody would have saw it coming. It states going out of business. Nobody saw it coming. So for those cheerleaders, they can get ready to stop their two-step. They can stop their chant. They can stop waving their pom-poms right now, because I'm here to tell you, have y'all not been paying attention? And it's not even clickbait, okay? Clickbait 101. It's not even clickbait, because we're going to talk about going out of business and how nobody saw it coming in reference to the epidemic and pandemic that is happening in our country or around the global country right now, which is COVID-19, okay? There are a lot of companies that are going to be going out of business due to this, right? But wait, let's stop though real quick. Did y'all really thought I was going out of business? How could y'all really think that I was going to the haters? How could y'all think that I was really going to go out of business and I just got 2 more trucks? Wait. Y'all didn't pay attention to the thumbnail? The thumbnail is one of the brand new Western Stars that I got that's pulling a fucking UPS trailer. Once again, it has nothing to do with Parks Motor Group going out of business. But what we are going to talk about is how a lot of companies, including trucking companies, will be going out of business. And for the simple fact that nobody saw this COVID-19 coming. Did anybody see this virus coming? Did anybody project it? Any of that? Hey, look. You see how the numbers are starting to go down, right? Hey, listen, the cheerleading squad has exited the building. They have exited the building. They are so bye haters, bye. Hey, how you doing? Now, did I just piss you off even more? Okay, like this mother clickbait. No, we ain't clickbaiting. We talking about going out of business today. Okay, companies going out of business and how nobody saw it coming. COVID-19. Oh boy. That's why I kind of 8 minutes in. So 8 minutes to let y'all know for the hating ones that Parks Motor Group is going out. I gotta be here to see it so that I can make a video about it. Wait, what? He's not going out of business? He's going to be talking about businesses going out because of COVID? This mother right here. Click off. I know. Drink to you, okay? Pinky up, COVID-19 style, okay? COVID-19. We trying to stay. Got him. Right. We trying to stay pinkied up, okay? One more sip for them haters. Oh, they was disappointed about that shit. Oh, they were. They was cheerleading. They was YMCA in it. Then they found out that the shit, got to be more careful, people. God damn it. Okay, God damn it. Just follow what I've been doing. Okay, I've added 2 more additional trucks to the fleet. Life is good. Life is good. Okay. Real quickly, let's talk about Now for the ones that we're here for the hopish. Somebody says childish truckers. Yeah, yeah. Well, unfortunately, they call it what you want it to be. But those that are attending, look, the numbers are going down. Okay, because the hate is real. They want to see me going out of business. They do. They do. I haven't had 250 people in here in a long time. Okay. When I sit here and I'm preaching, trying to help people with entrepreneurship and building a fleet and the right path to go, they don't want to come around for that 100, 110, 120, 30 people. Hey, going out of business, never saw it coming. The numbers double, right? So they wanted to see some shit. They wanted to see the shits. But I'm here. Ooh, excuse me. I'm here to tell you. I ain't got nothing for you on that, okay? Damn, I ain't got nothing for you. But look, let's talk about going out of business, okay? Let's get on into our talks of the day. If you are not here to get educated and enlightened about what's about to happen within the industry, as far as entrepreneur stuff going about to go down, this is where you can go ahead and exit now, okay? Because now we're going to start talking about this COVID-19, how it's going to have an effect on us as an economy, as the trucking industry, as businesses, as small businesses, and maybe what some of you guys that are entrepreneurs, lease operators, can do to stay profitable during these times, right? To prevent yourself from going out of business, okay? Because once again, nobody saw it coming. Nobody saw COVID-19 coming. Nobody saw stock market crashing. I don't know. For those that are stock market analysts and that have stock inside of stock, you guys would know I'm in the stock as well, okay? I haven't been in stock until recently, but because, my sports betting thing is, sports is on hold right now. But so I've been dabbling a little bit in the stock market, okay, and I got about $6,300 in the stock market, and I'm firmly already down about $1,300 in the stock market, and I've been in it probably for about 2-3 weeks now, right? But if you've been in the stock market, you can see that the stock took a major shit today, okay? And everything is down, okay? Not all time lows, but really, really low for some of the major hitters in the world, the Apples, the Microsofts, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Walmart, stuff like that, okay? Targets, things of this nature. And how does this all combat? Okay, how does this all play into what I'm talking about? Because the stock market is relatively going to let you know how our economy is going to go, okay? If investors are pulling money out of these stocks or investments into these companies, then it's telling you kind of the angle of how our economy is going to drive. That's why stock market is kind of important to kind of figure out how the economy is going to drive. Somebody just stated a very good of what it is. It's the bear market, right? So you got bullies, you got bears. If you're in the stock, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? So you got a bunch of the bullies that's trying to buy stocks that are relatively high, the Amazons, the Netflixes, Microsoft, Apple, the companies that are over $400 billion that they have within the stock, okay? So but today a lot of them took a major trash dump, and the reason why the trash dump has came is because the president made a conference yesterday indicating that, well, not yesterday, but more so, I believe it was Sunday, that we was going to be under these strict quarantine rules for an additional 30 days, okay? So with them additional 30 days, businesses, investors, investments are still kind of a little leery about how the market is going to end up being. Not only that, but a lot of people now are wanting to see what the Q1 numbers are going to be, which is quarter one. Okay, see what people's profits and losses and their sheets are going to look like. Okay, for Q1, and then once the Q1s come out, then that's when you're going to start seeing people buy in a certain stock depending on how well they did in Q1. Now, I can advise you that a lot of Q1s for a lot of stocks are going to be down outside of like the Netflixes. I believe that Netflix Q1 is probably going to be fairly well above everybody else. Also, things like Microsoft, because a lot of people are working from home, right? So they're utilizing Zoom and things of that nature. Now, somebody asked me in my Instagram live, is this the best time right now to buy into the market? And I would advise them, and I did advise them, that no, it's not. Wait till the Q1 reports come out, figure out which companies took a major loss, And then from there, once you see the Q1 reports, then you can determine which kind of way you want to go on who was profitable and who looks like they're going to take a tumble. As far as airlines go, I probably wouldn't buy any airline stock right now. And for the simple fact that I wouldn't buy any airline stock right now is because even with the bailout that came, airline companies are still projecting that it's not going to be enough for them to sustain this epidemic that's going on. Okay, they are in agreement to not laying off people. Okay, but what is not part of the agreement plan is that they don't have to cut wages. Okay, and they have already indicated that the money that they've gotten for the bailout may only last them up until about August, and then come August, September, they feel like they're still not going to have substantial amount of money. So then they're going to have to start telling people, "What's up, soldier? I see you in the building." They're going to start having to tell people to take pay cuts. Okay, now when they tell you to take a pay cut, technically they're not going against the rules of what the grant is supposed to be, because the grant, for in order for it to be a grant, is that they can't lay off people, but they can tell people to take a pay cut because they don't have enough funding. Now, if you choose not to take the pay cut, then kind of like you fire yourself, right? Because you didn't take the pay cut. So it's not like they're laying you off. They're telling you you're going to have to take a pay cut, and some people may not be willing to do that. But to combat that, what I say is there is a extreme high amount of unemployment right now, right? We're at the 3.3 plus million people who don't have jobs due to this COVID-19 situation. So do you really think that a lot of people have the choice right now to say, I quit, or I'm not taking a pay cut, or I'm walking away? Excuse me. A lot of people don't have that option for the simple fact that there's nowhere else for you to go. Okay. There's nowhere else to go. You don't have bargaining power to be like, I quit, I'm gonna go over here and leave Delta Airlines and go to American Airlines. It ain't no better there. Okay. Or I'm gonna leave Delta and go over to American. It ain't no better. Or I might have already said American, but you get what I'm trying to say. Okay. It's not going to get any better. And if you leave your current situation or what you have going on in that situation, then it's going to be a bad situation. Play stock options. That's where the money is at. Hey, that probably is. Also, probably doing pups. But pups, I think you have to buy like 100 shares. And then once it gets to a certain number, then you sell it. And, you know, my business partner has been talking to me about pups, where you put 3%, you gain 3% interest on it. And if the stock drops below a certain number, then you have to buy those 100 shares. If it doesn't drop below that certain number, then you gain 3% interest on those shares. But it's very much a risk in that, right? Because technically you want to put pups on stock that you really are interested in, right? So like the Walmarts and stuff like that. But so like right now, Walmart is trading for like $115. So if you was to get a pup on that, you would say, if the stock drops lower than $100, then I'll buy all your stock, 100 shares of stocks from that individual. The chances of Walmart stock probably dropping below that is probably a slim chance. But if it doesn't drop below that within 2 weeks, then he gains 3% interest on the amount of shares that he was supposed to take up. All right. So if in that he spent 100 shares, then, you know, at $115, then that's $11,000. So 3% interest on 11,000, you know, and you make, you know, a little bit of change, you know, $300, $400 off of that. And that's just off of the interest. And then he doesn't take on the stock shares of that, okay, because it didn't drop below that number. But there's different strategies and different ways that you can go about playing the stock market. Right now, me personally, I would just wait till the Q1s come out. Even though I already have stocks, okay, I got 24 shares in Alibaba right now. Am I probably going to pull those out of there? No, because I expect Alibaba's Q1 numbers to be good. So I expect for that stock price that is currently sitting at to rise, which right now Alibaba is sitting at $188. I expect for it to rise. Okay, I expect for it to hit over the 200, 220 mark, because they're still able to make trade in China and stuff like that. Plus, Alibaba deals with a lot of hair products, right? So, and that's what a lot of women, men, people use hair products. So I expect expect stock to do very well. And then on top of that, I think the stock for Alibaba is going to rise extremely well once the economy opens back up, because now we got so many people that have been quarantined that ain't been able to go get their hair done. They're going to need to go get their hair done. Okay. So that means hair products is going to be getting bought up. Okay. So that's what it is. So that's on the stock market portion of this. Also, where people or companies are going to be going out of business is that a lot of people are not going to be able, these mom and pop companies and even some of the corporate major big companies are not going to be able to sustain it, because if this shutdown does continue, in my opinion, past the month of May, it's going to get terribly ugly. Okay. For one, the stimulus package that is for $2 trillion is money, is borrowed money. Okay. And when I mean borrowed money, I mean that it is money that America doesn't have. Okay. We're printing money. Okay. Putting ourselves in deeper debt to pull ourselves out of it, of this $2 trillion. Okay. But do you know who this $2 trillion money not really real, America has to print it type of situation, don't have the money to really lend, is going to end up having to pay for this back? Well, if you didn't know, I'll tell you, your American tax dollars. All right. So once this whole epidemic, pandemic thing blows over, you can expect for taxes to go up. Okay. Because where else are they going to get the money from? Okay. They need to get the money back from somewhere. You think it's going to fall from Jesus? You think God's going to give us the money? No, it's going to come back from the American people. Okay. American people. Somebody says China. No. China tariffs is already done. 87 courts. I understand what you're saying, but China tariffs is already done. That's not good. That money, and that's only 10 cents. What is it? 25% of $250 billion tariff trade. So that's not going to be enough to cover $2 trillion. Okay. Billions is underneath trillions. Okay. So even with the China tariff, it's $250 billion tariff trade, and America gets 25% of that. So that still will not cover a trillion. So where is the trillions coming from, right? So America can print this money, the Federal Reserve can print this money, and then they're rubbing their hands Birdman style, because they're gonna get it back. And who they're gonna get it back from? The American people. Okay, the ones who they're giving this to is going to refunnel this, or is going to give back this made up money that they're going to make that they technically don't have. All right. But nevertheless, taxes will go up after this situation is over. I just hope that everybody's prepared for it. I don't want anybody I don't want anybody to be blindsided by it and think that your tax dollar is not going to rise. Okay. It will happen. Inflation is coming for sure. 87 Chords is right. Salute to you on that. Inflation is going to come. Okay. This is going to be a time where you're going to see people that have lost money during these times are going to have to make it up somehow, some way. All right. So now you may go to McDonald's, and for the next year or two, once it's finished, they no longer have a 99-cent menu. Okay. Everything might not be 99 cents no more. You got to think about this. This is real shit, right? It may not be a 99-cent menu no more. Or in any of these places, you might not find a 99-cent menu no more, because people have to make up for this loss, right? That is devastating listen, not to just businesses, but to everybody. Okay. The American worker, to the American business, small, large corporations, everybody is suffering in this. Okay. Even down to trucking companies. Okay. Trucking companies such as like us. Parks Motor Group is with the largest logistic company in the world, UPS. Okay. Now, has UPS stopped moving freight? No. They haven't stopped moving freight. They still got freight. But has the freight slowed down? Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. And if anybody says that freight hasn't slowed down, they're lying to you. Okay. They're just going to be 100 with you. They lying to you. Freight has slowed down. Is there plenty of freight still out here to move? There is. Okay. And as long as the need for the population is still there, truckers always will have work to do. Now, the difference in a slowdown and the difference in other people, how losing their jobs. Like I said, once again, the unemployment rate right now from people being laid off, losing their jobs, businesses right now that have closed because they can't sustain already the time limit that has this epidemic has put on this country, have closed, and these people are unemployed, 3.3 plus million. And I say plus because that number is probably going to go up, okay, if it hasn't already gone up at the current time that I'm speaking. But freight has slowed down, okay? And the best advice that I can give to one that is in trucking right now, in the trucking sector, is to make sure that you are attached somehow, some way, whether it's with a carrier or whether it's with a broker who has some really, really strong connections with some really, really strong distribution companies or contracts or something of that nature. If you don't have those right now and you just out in the wind, just dealing with Joe Blow, Joe Schmo, and you just don't, he's pretty much spot marketing it and picking from here and there or there and there and here and there, then you are going to suffer in this time tremendously because a lot of the smaller locations are going to A, go out of business, or B, cut back on some staff, or C, they're going to need to get small business loans, which small business is offering those loans and grants to companies that are small businesses to try to keep them afloat, right? But at the same time, if you don't have people on payroll for like underneath payroll salaries and stuff like that, then your loan is not a grant. Your loan is a loan, meaning that you're going to have to pay that shit back, okay? And if you have to pay that shit back, like, even though I understand it's a 0% interest right now from banks, but still, if you're making nothing and they're giving you something and you don't have something to give back to that number, what is it called? It's called digging yourself deeper into a fucking hole, right? Essentially, right? So, for lack of better words, it's robbing Peter to pay Paul. Okay, we all can attest to this, that are business owners or that have some type of general common sense, that this is none other than robbing Peter to pay Paul, right? Which it just digs you deeper into the hole. But for the concern of us with Parks Motor Group, we're doing good. Our drivers, have they seen a slowdown? Our contractors, have they seen a slowdown from this COVID-19? Absolutely. Okay. We have. There's been some areas where we've been sitting a little bit longer. Also, oh, excuse me, had a burp. Also, they have taken the layover pay away from us for the time being, and which is understandable. Okay. They're trying to keep it to where they're able to make payments to people, able to keep the contractors and not have to worry about laying people off. So certain things have to get cut, right? So I understand it. I've explained it to my contractors. They understand it. It's either this or that, okay? And this is either you take we do away with layover pay for right now, or if you don't like it, you can go out somewhere else. And good luck, okay? And good luck. And I say good luck because right now, a lot of companies, trucking companies, are not bringing in new drivers off the street, right? So let's think about this here. Companies like Prime, companies like Swift, companies like Schneider that have, and Stevens and any of these mega carriers that have training programs, right? Facilities. They're used to bringing in 100 new CDL recruits a week. Most of them are, okay? Now with the social distancing thing that's going on, they can't bring in 100 people, right? For the most part, you can't have more than 5 to 10 people in the area. So how do you think they're trying to hold up? They are losing hundreds of people that come in per week to get in trucks to now pretty much, for lack of better words, we can't even hold a fucking orientation, okay? Because we can't have all of y'all in the building. You know what I'm saying? So this creates a problem because they're losing out on money. They don't have drivers that can come in and fill some of their trucks. And orientation, like, where are you getting into orientation at right now with a trucking company? Like, most people are working from home. You know what I'm saying? Most places are working from home. Most states are on shutdown and lockdown and stuff like that. So by that not happening, it's creating a major issue, for those carriers. Okay, not to mention just only the mega carriers, but even small mom and pops. They're not able to hold orientations, okay, unless they're going to do it online. Okay, well, we understand online, but online things take a little bit longer. The process is a little bit slower. There's a lot of places where DMVs are closed. If the offices are closed down, plate places and stuff like this. So it creates more of a harsh time for them to be able to complete an orientation when so many places are closed, right? Once again, like I said, a lot of DMVs are closed. So how students or people that are getting CDL going to be able to go and test? They can't, okay? The DMV is closed, okay? UPS got 10 billion in the 1.2 trillion stimulus package. Well, Renaissance, I don't know if they did or didn't. You just put me on some information. If they did, that's a good deal. Really, still, but 10 billion is really not a lot to a business. I get it, but I mean, UPS, they got to keep freight moving. You know what I mean? As far as and not to say that nobody else doesn't have to keep freight moving, but once again, UPS, the largest logistic company in the world, they're probably going to be the first ones to get in on that, and plus they're on the stock market. You know what I'm saying? So they have investors involved in that. So you know how that goes. Money moves, money talks, and bullshit walks. You know what I mean? So companies like Prime, I know that Rob Lowe had like almost 900 something million dollars in just reserves. So he has almost $1 billion in reserves for Prime, and that was back when I was at Prime. So he probably has already exceeded the $1 billion portion. So what I'm trying to say is that make sure that you get with companies. Right now would probably be the best time to get with companies that have a lot of money to be able to sustain this, right? Because the companies that are not going to sustain this and that are going to go out of business are those that do not have capital, okay? That are not going to be able to withstand being shut down possibly till May, possibly till June. Me personally, I think that this thing goes away by May. Just my personal opinion. I feel like if it gets to June, our country is going to see, it's going to do this country is going to go to shit in the handbasket. Okay, if this virus and we stay shut down until June, July, this country, a first world country, is going to go to shit in the handbasket. It's going to get ugly. It's going to get bad because a lot of businesses are not going to be able to sustain without going out of business until June, July. Like they're hoping that the stimulus package pushes them over and get a lot of them by through April. Okay, but you're talking about going into May, and then you're talking about maybe possibly June, and people not working in the country and companies not making money. It's going to get shitty. Okay, as far as that goes. I got a super chat came through from Hamlet Duwas, my boy Hamlet. What's up there, buddy? He says, what is your prediction on overall timelines for the country to get back running? And when Rona gonna, I guess, are you saying bring a thing of the, or be a thing of the past? Good question, Hamlet. This is my opinion. Like I just kind of like stated a little bit. I feel like that the tension, this country has to kind of open up come May, okay? Because after May, if this continues to be shut down, when we're such a country of capitalism, creating money and jobs and wealth and such on and so forth, that if it stays shut down, I don't know where the government is going to continue to keep printing this money from, right? The 2 trillion is kind of like a slap on the wrist right now. But to say, oh, we need to print another 2 or 3 trillion, it's going to be almost a punch in the face. It's going to be a sore eye. And then once again, all that does is put the American public, businesses, working class, in a deeper hole to dig out of, because once again, the tax is we as the people and as businesses are going to have to pay that back, right? It's going to have to come back from somewhere, which is going to come from tax dollars, right? So that's going to hurt us. So I don't see it. I don't really see it going past the month of May. Okay, me personally, that's my personal projection. I could be wrong. I'm no Nostradamus, but from a economical standpoint, I don't think that it can go into the country staying the way it is into the month of June. I just don't. And then I think you also asked, I guess is only going to be a thing of the past. I do not think that the coronavirus will be a thing of the past. I think that coronavirus is actually going to be a thing that is here to stay. It's just that it's going to come seasonal, similar to how the flu is. Okay, they're going to create a vaccine for it, of course, eventually, and I think that it is going to be something that pops up like the flu. Okay, similar to how the flu is. It's seasonal. You know, a lot of viruses like cold weather, cold temperatures. That's where they thrive at. And being that we're coming up on warm weather months, summer, spring and summer, viruses die down during there, right? So when do viruses ramp up? During fall and winter. Okay, so do I think that this will be a thing that goes away? No, I don't. Also, how long do I think it will take for our economy to get back where it was at before this happened? I don't think that it'll take very, very long, okay? And the reason why I don't think it'll take very, very long is because people right now are sheltered in-house doing this stay-at-home thing. Everybody is ready to get back out and stimulate the economy, right? Everybody's ready to get back to work. Everybody's ready to go to restaurants and start eating again. Everybody's ready to, get on airplanes and God bless the cruise lines. I hope that the cruise lines do not suffer drastically from this, because we could see where cruises be a thing of the past, right? Because with the stimulus package, it didn't help out cruise lines, okay? And for right reasons that it shouldn't have helped out the cruise lines, because cruise lines are businesses that are owned abroad, okay? Meaning not inside the country, all right? They're not American countries. So why should the American tax dollar or American money help fund businesses that are not even American businesses? But they do provide basically entertainment, vacationing for Americans. But I mean, you can just look on the stock market, Norwegian, Carnival, Cruise Line, and Royal Caribbean, and they're suffering on the stock market. And I wouldn't advise anybody to buy any of their stock right now, because their Q1 numbers are going to be out of this fucking roof low. Okay, you might be able to get Carnival, Cruise Line, and Caribbean and all them for damn near $4 here soon. Okay, I'm just telling you, hold up on those. Definitely don't buy those, because that may be a thing of the past come cruise lines, because they're not getting any bailout. Now, the only cruise liner that did get a bailout, but they had to sell off some of their assets or liquidate some of their assets, was not Carnival, but Royal Caribbean. They got a bailout of $2.2 billion to help out with trying to keep them afloat. But what you have to realize is that Royal Caribbean has 85,000 employees, right? So trying to keep that same staff, or even trying to keep half of the staff, 85,000 people, to keep on a payroll and not lose them, how fast do you think $2.2 billion will go? Not to mention the cruise liners and stuff like that. Those are big ships. And I think Royal Caribbean and Norwegian just opened up a brand new cruise ship. So, I mean, Jesus, you know what I mean? Like, we will keep the cruise liners in our prayer, because I'm sure that nobody wants to lose cruise liners, right? Everybody enjoys going on cruises, I'm sure. And that would be a catastrophe for a lot of people, because then they wouldn't be able to hit the Cayman Islands and stuff like that without having to take flights on, where cruise liners are, the party boats on the water. But they stand a really humongous chance of, am I frozen? Oh, there you go. But they stand a really humongous chance of maybe not making it through this. But other than that, outside of that right there, I think that people are bottled up inside their houses right now, ready to come out, want to go buy stuff, want to go on vacations, want to stimulate the economy, but they can't stimulate the economy. Spins, I see you in the building. What up, boy? But they can't stimulate the economy right now because it's on lockdown. So it's kind of like putting a soda in a bottle, right? You put soda in a bottle and you shake it up, right? And right now, the government has the cap on us, right? Inside the bottle. But as soon as they open that cap up with a soda, when it's carbonated like that, what it do? Spurts out, right? So that's kind of like what's happening right now. Everybody is just holding on to their money, trying to see what's going to happen with the economy. And then once this thing does open back up, they get the curve for this COVID-19 to start going down with practicing good social distancing and things of that nature, then I think that the economy is going to boost back up relatively quick, okay? And a lot of analysts think that as well, that it is going to boost up relatively quick once we can open the economy back up, which when that happens, then that's when it's going to be time to get some stocks and stuff like that. And for those that follow my channel and follow me on Instagram, make sure you follow me on Instagram, Loshawnparks, because that's where, you know, I try to keep y'all abreast on stuff like that. And like, hey, go out and get stocks now. This is stocks to kind of like get into. This kind of like stocks to not mess with, stuff like that. But I try to keep y'all abreast on being entrepreneurs so that y'all, once again, as the title says, don't go out of business. And, you know, once again, it's COVID-19. Nobody saw it coming. And if they did see it coming, then we wouldn't be in this pandemonic or panic attack mode and stuff like that. And still to this day, I still feel like a lot of this panic, press the button, ring the alarm on this is really overdoing it. Okay. Like, for instance, my heart goes out to major cities like Detroit, New York City, they're in New Jersey, they're in the Boston, Connecticut area, California, and Washington for catching this stuff. But one thing that I do see that is common in these areas that are having these outbreaks, to even include New Orleans, that I do see that is common in these outbreak areas is their metropolitan area, or their inner city area. A lot of people use public transportation in these cities, okay? Especially New York City, right? That's probably a large majority of people's transportation in New York is the subway, the bus, cabs, Uber, Lyft, all that stuff, right? So like I was saying on my Instagram earlier today, I said, the reason I believe in New York, why it is spreading like a wildfire, okay, is because, well, I found out from my wife that, you know, this COVID-19 thing is not only highly contagious, of course, we all know that, but also that you can cough. If you have COVID-19 and you cough, that COVID-19 coronavirus stays airborne in the area where that infected person coughed at for 30 minutes. Did any of y'all know that? So if a person has COVID-19, coughs in this area, walks away, he's gone 30 minutes, you come walking in, you don't see a person around coughing, but he or whoever just coughed right there in that area, it's airborne and it stays alive for 30 minutes. That's scary. Okay. I don't know about y'all. That's pretty damn scary, right? Because it can look clear, like ain't nobody around here coughing, it's good. But the person could have just coughed there 10 minutes ago, left, you come in, inhale, you got COVID-19. Okay. And I'm not telling y'all for this to be scared, but I'm telling you it because that's how contagious this virus is, right? And viruses come and go all the time, right? They're always created, and things of this nature, they're always created. It's nothing that is new. You know, that's why down there, what happened? What's going on in Louisiana and New Orleans? They having an outbreak of it. Well, let's think about it. Mardi Gras just passed, right? So not only was beads being thrown out, but also COVID-19 was being tossed out with these beads, right? Or with people being all around that probably had COVID-19 and just passing it around, because for Mardi Gras, it is thousands and thousands and thousands of people that are in that area, party time, everything socializing, hand clapping, dapping it up, talking, tossing beads, passing COVID-19, okay? Which makes me believe that COVID-19 was definitely in the United States way before what the government is indicating that it got here, okay? This damn COVID-19 probably has been here since damn near November. Okay, I'm just saying. It's probably been here since damn near November, okay, when China had it. So, yeah, it's probably been here before then, okay? But it didn't probably just hit the alert on America until it got leaked out in China by this one guy, and all those people would look up, oh shit, it's COVID-19. They all there, oh shit, we got it, it's already here. You know what I'm saying? It was too late, it's already here. So, you know, we was a little bit behind the 8 ball on that. But COVID-19 has been around for years. You know what I mean? If you guys check on the back of Lysol bottles and stuff like that, that shit's been around for years. This ain't the first sighting of COVID-19. This ain't the first case of COVID-19. That's why it really baffles me that people, oh, COVID-19, oh, coronavirus, oh, that shit has been known by Lysol, which is an American brand company, under, I forgot who, sweetheart, who's Lysol under? Shay, Oh, she's upstairs. But my wife knows, she looked it up. But that stuff has been under that stuff for a long time. What kills COVID-19? Bleach. You know what I'm saying? But bleach kills every fucking thing. We all know that. But it's been listed on these bottles for a long time. COVID-19 is not nothing new, right? It's just new to the American public because before it hadn't been spread like that and hasn't been spread like wildfire. Okay, so Johnson. Somebody said, "Is that Johnson and Johnson?" Johnson and Johnson, which I wouldn't buy none of that Johnson Johnson stock. My wife told me Johnson and Johnson gives you cancer, so you gotta watch out. That might mean Lysol might give you cancer shit. You know what I'm saying? You gotta watch out for that too. But anyway, nevertheless, man. So that's what's going on with the COVID-19. It's getting spread down in Louisiana for Mardi Gras. New York, we got to think about this here. New York has the largest transportation, public transportation there is. People taking the bus, people taking the train, right? So what is it for a person to inside the train right there, okay? And the train makes thousands and thousands and thousands of stops. People coming in and out, breathing it in, got COVID-19, coughing in the hand, putting it up on the rail. Person coming next right behind them, put it on the rail, touching the hand pole. The next person touches the hand pole, bam, bam, it passes off. All right, New York City is definitely one of those touchy cities, right? Or people passing each other and touching a lot of things. So this is, yeah. Johnson & Johnson is getting sued for baby powder because supposedly one of the baby powders create cancer. Okay, that's the report that I've read on that. So yeah, Johnson & Johnson, watch out for them. They handing out cancer and baby powder. Okay, just keep eye on that. Hello, sweetie. Daddy's doing a video right now.
Huh?
Daddy's doing a video right now. You want to say hello to the people? You do? Okay, come right here. Look at the camera. Come on in.
Huh?
Look at the camera. Turn around. Look at the camera and say, well, hello.
Hello.
You wave at everybody?
Huh?
You wave at everybody?
Yeah.
Look, you gotta wave. Put your hands up to the camera.
Huh?
Put your hand up to the camera. Your hand, you gotta make it show up in the camera. See? There they go. Tell everybody what's your name.
What's your name?
What's your name? Say, what's your name? Tell everybody what your name is. Lundy, that's right. That's a big girl. Her daddy big tootie. There's a tootie butts. You took a bath?
I'm gonna take a bath tomorrow.
You're gonna take a bath tomorrow. Okay, is that what mommy say?
Yes.
Okay. What you got your little nightgown on? You almost ready to go night-night?
No.
No, of course not, right? It's too early for that for you.
Huh?
It's too early for that for you. Who's in there with you? The sister? Who brought you down here, Des? Who brought you down here? Who brought you downstairs?
Yeah.
Deja. Oh, okay. All right.
I'm making a cake.
You making a cake?
20 minutes.
In 20 minutes.
Yes.
You're making a cake. Outstanding. High five. Big girl. All right, let Daddy finish this video up, okay?
Okay.
Tell everybody bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
There they go. All right, so y'all got to see my beautiful daughter. So in New York, like I was saying, the COVID-19 is going to spread ridiculously because the source of transportation that they use up there. Whereas like places down south where I'm at, North Carolina, the public, we don't use public transportation that much. You know what I mean? It may be a 5-10% population that uses public transportation. Mostly everybody down here in the Carolinas has their own vehicle that they drive to work or drive to do whatever they want to do. But in New York, and in those other places, they use public transportation, and public transportation means around a lot of freaking people, right? And you could potentially be around a lot of sick people. So it's no surprise to me to see that the epidemic is spreading like wildfire there in New York, just because of that fact, okay? So definitely New York is not a place of social distancing, okay? We can all agree that New York is definitely not social distancing at all, okay? They definitely are packed in there, overly populated city and state at that, especially in the tri-area. You're talking about New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Massachusetts, all that stuff right in there, the Baltimore-ish, all that stuff is like right there, cluttered in together. So it's no surprise to see a big circle of COVID-19 in that area, opposed to when you come down south, like the Carolinas, like over in Kentucky, over in Missouri and places like that, in Alabama, Arkansas. That's just not seeing a lot of that because a lot of people don't use public transportation in these areas. You know what I mean? They use cars, so it's not a whole bunch of touchy feely shit going on. But that's just my opinion on that. Um, But other than that, man, we're doing fantastic over here at Parks Motor Group. So we're definitely not the ones going out of business. Okay, we're staying ahead of the curve. We're looking to add more trucks. Once again, we will be adding one additional truck each month. We've got 2 trucks, so we won't be adding a truck in the month of April. Plus, I think right now April is going to be like one of those times to see what goes on. So it wouldn't behoove to add any new truck anyway for the month of April. Plus, I think UPS isn't allowing any new trucks right now because of this COVID-19 thing. But once it sparks back up, hopefully in May, we'll be adding another truck. And then each month after that, we're going to add one more truck, one more truck, one more truck. People have been reaching out to us, okay, that want to join Parks Motor Group. We want to say thank you very much to each and every person that wants to join with us. Please do, if you are considering being a part of us or want to get down with what we have going on with the partnership with UPS, just simply send us an email. That is info@drive4pmg.com. I'll put that down here right now in the chat section. That's info@drive4pmg.com. Send us an email to this, letting us know that you are interested in joining Parks Motor Group whenever we have trucks come available, so we can put you on a waiting list. Hopefully one day we won't have a waiting list. We'll have enough inventory. But right now we have way more drivers that want to join us than we have trucks. And that's always a good thing. That's a positive thing. That's a great thing to have. And we want to continue to stay, in that positive streak as much as we can. We are accepting teams. We are accepting solo drivers. So if you do qualify for those, or if you want to be one of those positions, don't hesitate to send us an email. Just let us know how much experience you have. You do need to have 1 year of OTR experience within the last year. You can't have no felonies within the last 10 years, and you cannot have no more than 2 moving violations in the last 3 years. People keep asking me about the felony thing, like, why is it like that for the felony? People, that's UPS requirements, okay? So that we don't have to get this twisted and confused that it's a Loshawn thing. It's not, okay? That's UPS's deal, okay? And that's how they want it. That's how we're gonna have it. So at this moment in time, I will answer questions, comments, concerns, complaints. If you have a question, let's go ahead and put some asterisks in front of it. I will answer questions only with asterisks in front of it. If y'all don't know what an asterisk is, let me show you right here. Bam. You see what I just put there in the comment section? That is an asterisk. Put some of those in front of your question. I'll be able to answer them for you. If you don't put those in front of there, then I will not be able to answer that for you. Real quickly too, before, okay, we got one I was gonna say. I was gonna give some numbers, okay, for our first quarter for some of our solo drivers and teams, and let you guys know what they're averaging per mile after all deductions. But I'll get to that in a minute. When I see this question right here from Craig, he says, prayers for everyone and myself got tested today. That's what's up, Craig. Hopefully that you do test negative, but if you do test positive, quarantine yourself, man. Drink plenty of fluids, get plenty of vitamin C, and stay away from other people, man. So, you don't pass that on. I know you got children and stuff. So just quarantine yourself, man, and you'll make it through. Just build up your immune system, you know what I mean, to help your immune system fight off this disease. But definitely keep us posted on that, Craig, for sure, because I definitely want to keep you in my prayers for that. What's for dinner tonight? Welcome back. We already had dinner. I had chicken, asparagus, grilled chicken, asparagus, mashed potatoes, and cornbread. Fantastic. My wife slam dunked it, okay? Slam dunked it. What do you use to keep up with all of your company info? Just Excel spreadsheets or some software? All right, so I have 2 accountants. My 2 accountants keep up with all of our numbers. I send everything over to them as far as the settlements and stuff of that nature, and they keep up with everything. So our two accountants keep up with that stuff. Also, I keep up with it a little bit. I'm old school kind of still with it, so I still kind of like do things on paper, on a notebook. But as far as when it comes into a computer, that's dealt through our two accountants that we have. Let's see. Next is, why are the best two companies to lease on with? I guess you're asking what are the best companies to lease on with. That I can't give you an answer for it. The best companies to lease on with is my recommendations is the ones that have good contracts, okay, if you're going to lease, and also the ones that has the least amount of deductions for you to where you're able to be profitable on it, right? So those are going to be the two biggest things whenever looking at lease companies. And when you contact a recruiter, ask them what their deductions are, and if their deductions is extremely high. And to me, for a lease, as far as a fixed cost goes, my solo driver's fixed cost is $10.80 a week. Okay, that's before their fuel comes into play, and my teams are $13.80 a week. So kind of figure out from there. But we definitely have low fixed cost deductibles and all that jazz stuff over here with us. A lot of our stuff is really, really low, so we make it really, really easy for our contractors that are leasing the trucks with us to be able to be profitable and turn a profit. Speaking of, I had one of my solo drivers do 3,900 miles last week after all expenses, okay, after all fuel, fixed cost, truck note, PMG fee, everything. He took home a settlement of $3,100. Okay, now if you break that down into $3,100 after everything done, taken out, he profited roughly around 79 cents a mile. All right, now I know some people are going to hear 79 cents a mile. That ain't shit. That ain't nothing. And those that will say that don't know numbers. Okay, I said that he made a profit of 79 cents a mile. Okay, after all deductions, 79 cent a mile profit. That is fucking phenomenal. But only people that know numbers will know that that's phenomenal. Okay, there's some companies out here, some drivers out here that after all deductions, their profit is 25 cents a mile. So some is 30 cents a mile, some is 40, some is 50. To be 79 cents a mile profit after all expenses paid out, that's fucking phenomenal. Okay, fucking phenomenal. I just leave it at that. All right, next question. Anybody else? Stars. Let's see. Do you see the mega carriers trying to buy up the market freight to keep it low? I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening. No, not at all. I think right now is a time of a lot of companies not really buying up a lot of shit at all, of anything. I think they're holding what they got. So I don't see that happening at all. At all. Nope. Next question. Stay safe, bro. All right, Hamlet, you out, man. Salute, man. Thank you for stopping through. I appreciate that $10 super chat as always, my brother. Why don't Prime allow owner-operators to sign on to their company? Why doesn't Prime allow owner-operators to sign? They do. They have a logistics side. You can sign on to their logistics side. But last time I checked, they're at a freeze. Same way with UPS right now. UPS is at a freeze. They're not bringing on any trucks. Any. From the fleet owner, you can't bring on any additional trucks. And people outside, can't bring on any trucks. Everybody is at a freeze right now. Just because the economy right now is not at a good point, right? So it doesn't make sense for a trucking company to sign on a truck when the economy is crashing. For right now, it is. All right, next question. What about misdemeanor charges? Name change, I said felonies, okay? No felonies within the last 10 years. Felonies. Steel curtain, man. I sent your information up today, okay? I just want to let you know that. Are your drivers part of the HOS suspension? It depends if they're on a FEMA load, a relief load. If they're not on a relief load, then no. You know what I mean? And that's how it goes for any of y'all out there. If you're not on a FEMA load, you are not restricted from the hours of service, okay? Don't get caught doing the shit. You get caught doing the shit, they're going to penalize you, okay? Did y'all not hear where I said this is a time of people holding on to money? So don't give DOT a reason to go ahead and get you, okay? Because they will check. And if you ain't got the FEMA paperwork showing that and you pass hours of service, it's not a certified relief load, oh yeah, that ass getting popped, okay? And you're gonna get written up for that. Because it's only for those that are on FEMA relief loads. Gerard, I see you in the building, dog. You know, you must know that you was the one I was talking about, right? About the 79 cent. Gerard Summers. Shay don't typically like for me to do this, but I'm gonna tell y'all like this because Gerard has told me that I could do this. Y'all see in the comment section, Gerard Summers. Gerard Summers is a solo driver over here with me, okay? Pulling the UPS freight. I don't know if y'all see his comment there. He says, be killing them miles. Gerard is the one I was talking about that after all deductions took 31 and he did 79 cents profit after all deductions. If y'all, like I tell all my drivers, if they are on here, if I'm lying, I'm flying, and I don't never have a problem with my current drivers, not past tense drivers, okay, because that's past, we don't worry about that, but current drivers that are with me coming on to basically vouch or to do testimony. If it's bad, I don't care. Tell everybody it's bad. You know what I'm saying? Say it's terrible, I ain't making no money, but if it's good, come on and let people know that, you know, what we currently have is a good situation. So that way people won't look like I'm just talking out the side of my ass, okay? That there actually are drivers that are with me that are doing good and doing great. Actually, all my drivers are fucking doing good, doing great. Like, I don't know. You know, I know a lot of them right now has been, because it was starting to pick up. It's our peak season before this COVID decided to show his face. So miles was coming in like left and right. The COVID has slowed them down just a little bit, but once again, just a little bit. They're not sitting for days on end, like days and days. You know, so they're doing really, you know, they're still doing really, really good. How do you keep your trucks running with such a high turnover rate in trucking? Do you just always accept applications and keep a backlog of applications? Young Fade, that's true. Yes. Okay. Trucking is a high turnover. Luckily with us, I would say that our turnover has been pretty low. Okay. We haven't had a lot of turnover. We've had a couple. Okay. But what company doesn't? But our turnover is not extremely high. You know what I mean? We try to retain the contractors that we have. We're always trying to find different ways to create or innovate for contractors to be able to make the most money that they can. Because like with us, we make a set rate, right? So with a solo driver, we charge $300. With a team, we charge $600. So regardless of how much revenue they do, how many miles they do, we try to always be to where it's fair, you know what I mean? So we're not taking a percentage of their money that, you know, the harder they run, the more we make. We don't work like that, okay? Ours is, it don't, you know, if you run hard and you work hard, then you should reap the reward for that, you know what I mean? And that's how we model ourselves on that. So that's why it makes perfect business sense for us to do it the way we do, and it's been very successful. But yeah, trucking is a high turnover. We haven't had a extremely high turnover. Like I said, we have more people that want to join us than we have units available. So that's just a fact. And once again, down here at the bottom, if you are interested in joining Parks Motor Group, I will put the email for you to send us an email, info@drive4pmg.com. We are accepting solo drivers and teams, okay? Solo drivers and teams, but you must have an EIN and a business bank account in order to join us. Back to the questions. Let's see here. All right, so I got his one. I got that question. Let me see, where did I leave off at? I'm looking for asterisks. Remember, if you want me to answer a question for you, all you gotta do is put some asterisks in it, and that is what the asterisks look like, is what I just put in the comment section. If you don't put asterisks in it, in front of it, I'm not gonna read it. I answered that about misdemeanors. FMCSA has a, I guess, FAQ, you put FAQ, that explains the hours of service exemption. I am exempt on this load because it is food, just an example. There you go, David W. Thank you for giving them that. I guess what David W. is trying to say is that FMCSA, just in case you don't know, FMCSA has a list of letting you guys know what is a FEMA load or what is a essential load that needs to get going where it exempts you from the hours of service. I think they should also be able to notate that on your bill latings too as well, somehow, some way, but I don't know. Have you thought about getting a reefer contract and keeping UPS2? No, Larry Young, I haven't. I've dealt with reefer before, pulling the prime reefer stuff. What we do is just more simplifying for us. It works for everybody. It's drop and hook, terminal to terminal. Reefer has a lot of sitting. You have to put fuel in the reefer, and it just seems like it's more of costs. So we've done the reefer before, and the numbers pulling this UPS freight contract is way better. All right, let me see. Next question. Asterisk. Make sure y'all put asterisks. I see questions in here, but I'm not reading them if they don't got the stars in front of them. I'm just not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. We gotta follow directions sometime, people. What's a good place to start up your business? What is a good place to start up your business? Are you talking about like get an EIN? If you're looking for a good place to start it up, LegalZoom.com. Legal, I'm putting it down here and writing it right now. Legal, and I don't get paid to tell y'all this. LegalZoom.com. Bam. If you're looking for somebody to do your business stuff for you, like set up your EIN number, articles and stuff like that, bam, there you go, right there. That's where, I got a couple of my businesses started was through LegalZoom for sure. All right, next question is, how much should I pay a driver using my truck? Good question, Red Pill. Red Pill or Blue Pill? That is the mystery question that nobody knows, okay? You have so many different ways that you could do this, right? You have it where you could pay a person percentage. You have it where you could pay a person by the mile. And then you got to kind of like find that factor of like, what's the happy medium, right? Because you also got to factor in what's going to be profitable for you, right? Because as you be in a business, you don't want to just give the whole bank to a driver, right? And then you're not making profits, because if you're not profitable from this driver being in your truck, then you suffer as a business and eventually you go out of business, right? So you have to find that number that is a good number for you to be profiting, okay? And a good number to pay the driver to where the driver is satisfied. As far as that goes, I don't know if you have paid off equipment. I don't know if you have, direct shippers. I don't know if you're leased onto a company. It's a lot of still missing questions that I could probably narrow down a little bit if I had just a little bit more information. But the starting point is you need to figure out what number you need in order to be profitable. And then once you figure out the number you need in order to be profitable, then you can figure out what your driver pay can be. Jim, I just dropped the gym right there for y'all. Okay, I know if y'all, that is paid content. No, I'm just playing. But I just dropped the gym right there for y'all. And take it from somebody who had to learn that the hard way. I had to learn that the hard way by losing money. And that's a fact. FAQ is the frequently asked questions. Gotcha, Eastlay. I hope I said that right. Thank you so much. Still current says 3,900 miles with rest is good miles. I run with hardly any rest driving the glider kit. Oh, you already know I know about that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And Gerard, I don't know if he's in here and he's talking to you guys, for some of you guys that want to be solo drivers, but check him out, holla at him. He'll give you the whole skinny. Gerard is a straight shooter. He ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing. And I don't want him to sugarcoat nothing, or any of my drivers to sugarcoat shit. Like, don't try to make it sound like it's good when it ain't good. If you ain't happy, you ain't happy. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. Hey, you got a website that has your company job info. Golden Boy, we do have a website, but our website needs to be updated. It's outdated. And speaking of tomorrow, I need to get with my web analyst person to reconstruct that website. So thank you so much for reminding me about that. But right now it is currently outdated. It has the information from when we was with RST. And I have to get on my wife so that we can remember to do that tomorrow for sure. We do need to call her. All right, hey, my Cascadia has 107,000 miles on it. I've never changed the air filter yet, and the filter gauge is still green. How accurate is that gauge? You've never changed your air filters? I would say that gauge is incorrect. You typically should change your air filters every time you get an oil change. Okay, like if you get an oil change every 25, 35,000 miles, whatever, you should be changing your air filters. If you're talking about your in-cab filters that's inside the truck, you should be changing those every 3 months. So you got some filters to change, buddy. That's a fact. Also, how often should I change the filter tanks? You talking about your filter tanks, that the tanks that's underneath? How you shouldn't have to change those at all. You should just be bleeding those. If they're not bleeding any longer or they're not releasing the pressure from them, then you're gonna want to get those looked at. Next question. What do you pay your drivers when they have your... Okay, yeah, red pill, blue pill. I think I answered that already for you. Just, that's your first step, is figuring out what your profitability needs to be. I'm just on my way to orientation on Monday. Just got my CDL. Going to be working an account. Is this a good way to start? You're going to be working an account. Where are you headed to orientation? Whoever this is, Quiz, where you headed to orientation at? I know a lot of orientations are not happening, so that's pretty interesting. So do you really think that power only is better than getting a trailer? Not saying that that's your situation, but if you have experienced both, is that the way you feel? Fetty, do I think power only is better? It's better for my situation. It's better for what we do. It may not be for everybody. Do I feel like it's better than one is better than the other? I just think whatever is more comfortable for you. If you want to own a trailer, then own a trailer. If you just want to own your tractor or run your tractor only under a power only, then that'd probably be the best way to go too. So it just depends all on what your mind frame is or what you're trying to do. If you want a trailer, then you get a trailer. For all the teams that are out there, my girl Wendy Barber, y'all see her right there. She just said PMG. That is one of our top grossing teams between the Barbers and Mrs. Davis, which I don't think she's in here. If she is, she'll pop up. But they are top grossing teams. If anybody is a team that is in here and wants questions relating to team freight, those are the two people that you want to talk to, and those two people will keep it 100 with you as well. Solo drivers, talk to Gerard. He's in here. Teams, if you need information on it, talk to Wendy or Annette Davis. You guys may see her in here as well. But as far as the trailer power only goes, that's kind of like one of those things on what you really trying to do. Okay, that's all that is what you're trying to do. Are you gonna have all Western Star trucks or mix it up? I will have a mix between Western Stars and Cascadias. I'm staying with the Freightliner family. Okay, I know a lot of people have asked me that. Will I get Volvos and will I get Peterbilts and KWs? The answer there is no. I am a Freightliner company. Okay, I'm a Freightliner man. I like Freightliners because anybody and everybody can work on them. It's just it's the workhorse of the industry at the end of the day. So I will have both of them. A mix of both. Next question says, I'm leased on to a company and pay for 2 trucks. Is 25% a good percentage? All right, so Red Pill, so you're leased on to a company. And now my next question, now that you say that, is, my question is, how much of the percentage from the company that you're leased on to do you get? Okay, because once we figure out how much of the percentage that you get, then we can figure out if that 25% is a good price or not. Okay, because if you're getting 50% and you give the driver 25%, that means that you and the driver is splitting 50-50. Like, and it's your truck, I wouldn't recommend that. Okay. The driver who doesn't run the business, I get it that the driver makes the business because the driver drives, but at the end of the day, it's I'm not going 50-50 with a driver. It just won't happen. It just won't happen. For those that also think that that Loshawn or that my business makes more than the drivers. The drivers actually make more than me. Okay, they do. We like I just said, Gerard made 79. Most of the solo drivers are averaging anywhere from 65 to 80 cents. Okay, a mile after all expenses, right? So if I get $300 off of a solo driver, does anybody know how much I make per mile off of that solo truck? Okay, so Gerard did 4,000 miles this week. All right, where my number gurus at? Did 4,000 miles this week. I got $300. Okay, as a company for Gerard. Okay, does anybody know how much I made? Well, he did 3,900. Let's just be fair. He did 3,900. Does anybody know how much I made a mile off of what Gerard made? Because we already said that he made 79 cents a mile. How much did me as a company that he leases the truck under make? Does anybody know? I'll give y'all a few minutes on that. And then y'all gonna come to see like, damn, somebody says 1 cent. There it is. Young Fetty is absolutely right. Damn, it didn't take long. You must put your division in your calculator. Correct. I made 7 cents a mile for the miles that he did. Nope, 7 cents. I made 7 cents. 7 cents. And how you come to that number? You take the dollar amount, 300, divided by 3,900 miles. That's how much I made. I made 7 cents a mile. He made 79 cents a mile profit. But then all these people will sit there and say, oh, he's scamming, he's scheming, he's plotting, he's taking money. And I make 7 cents a mile. 7 cents a mile. He made 79 cents a mile profit. So when people say that my drivers or my contractors don't make money, I kind of beg to differ. Okay, I kind of beg to differ. All right. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. All right. That's just what it is. Anyway, let's carry on. All right. So I seen something about Red Pill where he actually told me the percentage that he made. I hope I didn't miss anybody else's question. Real quick, I'm gonna scroll back up here. Give me 1 second. All right, I read the Cascadia one. It says, what do you? Okay, I read that one. It says, I'm just on my way. Okay, I read that. Damn, man. Why does it feel like I can't keep up with these questions? How do you do your weekly settlements? Excel? Do you use a template you could share? All right, so how I do my weekly settlements? My weekly settlements come in from UPS. UPS pretty much does our weekly settlements. When it comes into us on a PDF form. We go into the PDF form and we add in the truck payment. Okay, so we deduct the truck payment for the drivers. We pull the truck payment out of their settlement. We put the PMG fee in there as well, 300 for a solo, 600 for a team, and then the rest of the money is cut to we cut the check to the contractor for the remainder balance of it. So that's how it pretty much does. We just work off of the same PDF form that comes to us from UPS. All right. All right, let's see. The next question is, who is the best person to get in touch with over at UPS for a hiring process? I've geeked out multiple applications, but nobody has gotten back to me wanting to bring my truck on with them. All right, so Boozy, here is to answer your question right now. UPS is not bringing on any trucks right now until this COVID-19 thing blows over. When it does blow over, the two people you can get in contact with is Amanda and Jill. I will tell you right now, they are hard. They are two hard women to get in contact with, okay? They are extremely hard to get in contact with. I would tell you to continue trying. Go on to the app, go on to the website, try to fill out the application. If you are a solo truck, your chances of getting in right now is probably slim to none. If you are a team truck, you might be able to do it after the COVID thing goes in. But for the most part, they're not taking any solo trucks if you don't come in through like a fleet owner. And in order for you to come in through a fleet owner, the fleet owner has to basically own the truck. So you can't come under a fleet owner and be the owner of a truck and come under him. It's not going to work. They won't accept it. So if you are a solo driver, I'm not telling you that it's impossible. I'm just telling you that it's a slim chance. All right. Unless you get on with a fleet owner and you like lease a truck through them or you use one of their trucks. That's about the only way it's going to happen. So Red Pill says I'm leased on to a company and paying for 2 trucks, 25. Okay, I'm still waiting on that one from him. I'm going back on the road. Where are safe places to get showers each? I don't know what you're saying there, and avoid the COVID-19 stuff. I'm hearing a lot. Where to avoid the COVID-19? States that have high cases of it, I guess. New York, somewhere in the Northeast, somewhere like that. And as far as showers go, I don't know. My understanding is that there's a waiting line for showers, so I guess you just got to grab a number and wait. As far as that goes, I don't have no answer for you on that. For us, Express. Oh, I guess you meant to say for US Express in Springfield, Ohio, they have me set up for Dollar Tree account. Okay, that's what's up. Congratulations, you get on a Dollar Tree account. I feel you. Going to US Express in Springfield, Ohio. Okay. Well, you're definitely one of the luckies. Okay. Do you pull doubles? Still current. We don't pull doubles. If you have the double endorsement, then if a double trailer does come available, then you have options where you can pull them. But you do not have to have your double endorsement or your hazmat. It is preferred but not required with us. I'm trying to vape, and my vape ain't firing. Damn, my battery must be weak as fuck. Need a new battery, y'all, so it's almost about to be over. I can't vape. Halo driving listener, I appreciate that, man. Shadow Wolf, what's going on, buddy? Glad to see you in here, cuz. How you feeling, man? You said life is awesome. I cannot complain myself. Life is awesome. I'm doing fantastic, Shadow Wolf. Thank you so much for attending and checking in on me. Checking in back on with you, brother. Oh, the wolf. What do you think of Prime Team Leasing? I think that if you're talking about with Prime Trucking, if you're going to be teaming and leasing, it's a good move. It's a good move. What speed are your trucks governed at? All right, so this is a question that I just never seem to understand, why people are more concerned with what speed the trucks are governed at. I don't get it. I don't know. What difference does that make? If they were at 65, you still get money, right? So, and to be honest with you being a contractor, you should be wanting to put more money in your pocket, so slowing your truck down a little bit. But I just never understood why people ask the speed of trucks. Speed of trucks, it should really be irrelevant. And since it is irrelevant to me, I choose not to answer that question. I'm just saying, I choose not to answer that question. Next question, let's see. 7 cents a mile is awesome if you got 1,000 trucks. That's a Shadow Wolf. That's right. 7 cents. Hey, listen, Shadow Wolf. I have now put myself, my business now to where we are a volume business where we don't have to worry about, only thing we worry about is growth. Okay, volume. Which is a beautiful thing, okay? Which is a beautiful thing because it allows us to grow. And we've gotten the okay from UPS to grow expeditiously as big as we would like. So, yes, we are now officially, Parks Motor Group is in the volume game. Yeah, I love it. How often do you rotate your tires on your trucks? Well, you should rotate your tires every 6 months. Typically, they say every 50,000 miles or so, rotate your tires. So, yeah, it just depends. Some people do it every 25,000. It just depends on you. But 25 to 50,000. How do you do payroll? Do you let UPS handle that or an outside company? We handle payroll. Only thing that UPS does is cut us the settlement, and we do payroll. Let's see. Any other questions? Is ETC okay? Hey, I'm all the way down at the bottom of the questions. Is that right? You don't say. Makes for a perfect time. Okay, I got one more question from Mr. Hill. He says, do you run all 48 states? UPS is unique. We don't run all 48 states. We don't do any northwestern states. So like Washington, Idaho, South Dakota, Montana, places like that, right? We don't do any northwestern states. We don't do any northeastern states above New York, okay? So basically meaning we don't do like no Maine, no Rhode Island, no Massachusetts, stuff like that, no Vermont, okay? So anywhere else outside of northwestern states and upper northern eastern states, which basically is the New England corridor, we do everything else in between. All right, a lot of people do be asking too, do we have dedicated routes? We don't have dedicated routes, but we do a lot of the same terminals, okay? With our dispatcher, I could probably name about 10 terminals that we hit, okay? And we just keep doing those same terminals. So damn near is dedicated, okay? You're gonna see about the same 10 terminals and yeah, all right? So, but there is nothing that we have that goes from one city to one city and back and forth all day. We don't have that. All right, so I hope that answers your question. Did Prime make you train at least one PSD student before taking a TNT? They are making me take a PSD first. Young Fitty, I guess that's what their new rules is. When I was there, no, I didn't have to do that. I didn't have to take a PSD, but I know that a lot of Prime's rules have changed since I was there a few years ago. So that's a possibility that that could be a new rule. Thank you, sir. Just wanted to know if it was making a good choice. Peace be one. That's what's up, man. Definitely. Thank you for stopping through. What's your goal for the amount of trucks by the end of 2020? Our goal for the, how many months we got left? What are we in, the 4th month? We added 2 trucks so far this year. We got about, what, another 8 months? So 8 plus 2 be 10, okay? So right now we are at 9 trucks. So we're looking to get to somewhere about 19, 20 by the end of 2020. Yep. Who is out of business? If you missed it, Mr. Lucas, you have to watch this back on the replay because I am about to end this. We've been bopping and going for 86 minutes. It's long. Listen, man, y'all don't do nothing I wouldn't do. I appreciate each and every one of y'all for stopping through here tonight. Make sure on your way out the door that you hit the thumb up button, replay, rewind if you didn't get to catch it from the beginning so that you're able to catch it. We talked about a lot of great information in this video here tonight, a lot of informational. Dropped a few jewels in this. Make sure that you run it back turbo so that you can hear that again. It's a good listen to for you guys going down the road tonight. Run it back. You could hear it 3 or 4 more times over and you'll learn something new each time that you do. That's the way that I teach, is that each time you listen to it, you're going to learn something different each time. That's how unique I am, okay? But y'all be safe, man. The COVID-19 is out there. Be vigilant to it. It is a virus. It is a real thing as far as the virus. But don't be afraid of it because, I mean, it's life. It is what it is. Just be vigilant to it, okay? Make sure you take your vitamin C, drink your orange juice. Be safe. Don't do nothing stupid. And as always, winners focus on winning. And losers focus on winners. And we winning all day. Right here with Money Moves. With Loshawnparks. Catch y'all in the next video. Salute.